I'm asking you both to be bold here. Who do you feel should not be on this list?
Ooh.
I hate that you asked this. Come on, these are our peers.
That's all right. It's hip hop. What up, y'all, and welcome back to the Rotation Roundtable show live on Amazon Music. We're on Twitch, and I'm joined by my family as always. To the right of me, we have the lovely Nyla Symone.
Yes, hey, Speedy.
To the right of her, we have Gabe.
What's up, my guy?
Give us the whole, what is it? Step.
Oh, okay. It's man, it's Mr. On the Radar Radio, Mr. Step In, Step Out, Don't Get Stepped On. Word of my brother Hood Fly Mike.
Beautiful.
In the building.
Go ahead, take a sip. That was a lot.
Yeah, sip
Come
up
on,
that.
Every time you say that, I'd be like,
How do you remember
this for him?
right?
Also, our brother in arms, Rob Markman, the OG, and our brother is not here with us today, but he will be back next week. We're sure that he'll be in the comments, and I know that he's watching. So, Rob, we miss you, bro, and we will see you next week.
Please feel better.
And he's already mad you called him an OG, by the way.
Yeah.
He's definitely pissed about that right now, watching at home.
I'm sorry.
No, I feel like OG is a compliment.
It's a respectful thing.
Yeah.
No, I know,
knows
but
my
you
heart.
know how he is.
Rob knows my heart.
Rob, we rearranged the whole show because you're not here, by the way.
Right.
Like, I'm disappointed.
And Rob, good news. We have a new table now that you'll feel when you come join.
Custom made table. Hold on.
Don't worry, you'll be excited. And Gabe is also drinking twice as much to make up for the deficit.
Just for you, Rob. Only for you, man. My Puerto Rican brother, I miss you.
I just want to encourage you guys watching at home to make sure you are active in the comments because we will be reading them. We'll be tapped in with y'all as well as always. But before we get into the actual show, Nyla, you must have jet lag because you just got back into town. You had an eventful weekend this weekend.
Yes.
Where were you at?
So I went to Dreamville Fest. This is my third year going. I've gone every year since they had it, which, by the way, I mean, you know I'm a Cole stan. I think you know I'm a Cole stan now, too. But I haven't missed one J. Cole tour. I've been to all of them.
Really? Dollar and a Dream?
All right. Since he dropped the album.
Okay.
So
all
sideline
right.
story up.
You see how quick it changed?
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I might have missed a show in between
Dollar
here,
and a
man.
Dream, I was like in middle school. Like I wasn't.
No, the Dollar
outside.
and Dream tour was when we were in college.
I was in college
Nyla.
at that
We were in
time.
college.
No, it wasn't.
Swear to God, Nyla, we were in
Sidelines.
college.
I went to Sideline Story, my first one in Baltimore when I was in high school. I was a junior in high school.
But he was still doing Dollar
He
and Dream
did Dollar and
until
Dream
we were in college.
multiple times.
We were
It
actually
wasn't-
working at
But
Power one time.
that's not albums.
All right.
All right, fine.
But carry on.
I've been to all
Please.
the album tours
Festival isn't an album tour.
and the festivals.
Yes. Raleigh. It was in Raleigh, North Carolina.
It was
for
in
you,
Raleigh,
Joel.
North Carolina, and shout out to Cole because a lot of people flew into Raleigh. I know it was like such a random place to go to. I will say this: getting there though was a nightmare. All the airlines were trash. I think because everybody was trying to get to Raleigh, and they're not used to that influx of people coming
sure.
into the city.
How was it on Spirit? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm
You know,
just kidding.
I feel like taking Spirit probably would have been easier. Spirit don't be canceling like that. The seats might be uncomfortable. I flew Delta.
Did you have a canceled flight situation?
I had a canceled flight.
But
the
wait,
day
did you miss
of.
where she said like the seats be uncomfortable? Like she's flown Spirit
I've
regularly?
absolutely flown Spirit because Spirit will get you there fast. But this is not about Spirit, it's about Dreamville.
Okay.
So I'm a little disappointed because my flight ended up getting me there at 6 p.m. and it rained. Luckily, it rained, so they pushed the festival back and it started 3 hours late. So I was able to catch Usher.
Nice.
Love that for you.
Usher body.
I saw clips on the internet. Boy, did Usher look spectacular. How was
Yeah.
it in person?
It was nuts. It's like an alien experience, like not human. He just glided on stage. Him, honestly, even watching like, the next day, Drake, 21 Savage, Lil Wayne, Cole, all aliens. Like they glide on stage. It's different. I don't know if it was just like the festival energy or I don't know what makes them so special, but watching them was definitely, it just felt like history in the making. So shout out to Tez because he gave me an OVO band. So I had access to go into Drake compound, to go into the regular VIP compound, and then like just be up front for all of the shows. But it was a really dope experience.
Crazy. Drake has his own compound at.
Didn't I say that to you yesterday on the radio show? I said
Yeah.
Drake had his own. Drake and Cole had their
Salute.
own compounds.
Their own compound.
I want to give a quick shout out to Rob Markman, Wayno, and Gia Peppers who hosted the live stream right here on Amazon. I was watching from the crib on the couch. Gabe, did you watch?
I watched some of it. I really liked the Dirk interview. The Dirk interview was
Dirk
great.
interview was dope.
Because when Dirk was talking about doing something with Cole, like I feel like Cole might start getting back into that bag of doing unlikely features. Well, he kind of already has because he did the BTS song, the K-pop group, and then I think, I would have never have thought J. Cole and Dirk would have ever kind of meshed and have done a song together. But I mean, J. Cole has always proven us wrong before. He's always smoked features.
He loves doing a surprise, like, oh, because
Like a
remember he
feature
was
run.
do that thing with Young Thug? We was like, Thug. But speaking of Dirk, y'all saw that they got back together. You guys were rooting for him.
Yeah.
Remember?
I saw the tat. It was like a sneaky thing, right? Like a tattoo got caught
with the ring.
The ring.
I love that.
Salute. Love wins.
Shout out my toxic brother.
Yeah. Shout out to
God.
Dirk.
No,
Yo.
Shout out to Dirk.
It's not about the toxicness, but I definitely support the tattoos. You committed, get my name tatted.
What the tattoo?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what she.
I
She was.
don't know.
She really thought she was doing
You-
something.
you
there.
got-
She thought
you
she was
guys-
doing something there.
right?
You
She
guys
thought
aren't that committed. You guys
No, I
aren't
thought she
that
ate.
committed.
Committed how?
You guys aren't committed because you wouldn't get your name tatted. He got her back.
I don't need to get nobody's name tatted.
Yeah,
respectfully.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Anyway.
I want to talk about an incredible April Fool's joke that Usher pulled when he told everyone that Beyonce was coming out. Did you see that?
That was silly.
So for those who
I didn't even know he did that.
For those who didn't see it, Usher was on stage and he hyped up a moment as if he was bringing out a special guest, and then he was just like, "Without further ado, please welcome Beyonce," and everyone lost it. And then Beyonce didn't come out, and he was just like April Fool's. What was it like for you, B? Did you think B was coming out?
Yeah, I thought she was going out. And then after that, I'm like, all right, I'm going to hit the merch stand. Like, the line's probably down now. But no, honestly, seeing Usher at Dreamville Fest definitely made me want to go see him at his Vegas residency.
Yeah.
We have to go. No, we have to go.
I'm down.
I feel like every time, like because I think you and I saw Usher at a Powerhouse back in the day, like I think like 5-6 years ago, and even watching some of the videos from Usher's performance, it's incredible how nothing has changed in a great way too.
Sure.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how you talking about how he just glides on stage.
Yeah.
It's still the same every single time, if not even better each time you see it.
He got so many hits.
Yeah,
And
back to back.
It made me re-question, like, dang, Chris Brown versus Usher. You know that versus that always gets thrown around. I'm like, dang, I don't know.
So are you saying it would be Usher?
I'm saying I don't know.
You can't do that because you don't know. You know how much he loves Chris Brown, so you can't put her.
I do love
yeah,
Chris.
You can't do that.
But I also...
It's like J. Cole, Chris Brown.
Wow, you like Chris Brown more than J. Cole?
No. J. Cole, Chris Brown.
Oh, he's right there.
But she stuttered though. But
Yeah,
she heard the little stutter.
I
I was like,
did hear
I
it.
don't know.
J. Cole, Chris Brown, but yeah, Usher got a lot of hits. And I think, like, he was saying, let's take it back. But I'm like, all of these are us taking it back. What do you mean? You know, all of these, but they were all great. And I think, you know, just timeless thing will win. Timeless music will win through and through.
Quickly, I want to talk about what it was like for you being there during Cole and Drake's set. Because at the crib, it looked amazing. Drake brought out, I'm trying to remember, Uzi, Wayne, Glorilla,
Yeah.
and 21. And I don't know if there was anyone else. But from your perspective, being there and then hearing Cole close it out, like what was the vibe like there?
Yeah, honestly, I usually try to leave early because I don't want to be stuck in the crowd of 50,000 people, but it was worth being stuck in the crowd. I'll say that it was dope to see Drake bring out Wayne just because it's like,
Yeah.
it's hip-hop history, you know what I mean? Like, one GOAT to another GOAT, it was just a stage full of GOATs. And, you know, Uzi and 21 are like the next generation of GOATs. And I know I was talking about 21 Savage performance last time.
Yeah.
We were talking about the Apollo. The energy was there
he
this
better
time.
this time?
Yeah, I was
Okay,
like,
good.
oh, wow. I don't know if it's the crowd. I don't know if it's, you know, standing next to Wayne on stage that puts the pressure on
Better
him.
have some energy if you stand next to Wayne on stage.
I know. But it was really cool. Wayne's also an alien.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Fact.
Yeah, like the energy is nuts. Uzi's energy is nuts. It's something really admirable about being an artist and being able to perform to that height. I gotta say, like, definitely a night I will never forget. It feels like a Woodstock type of moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's a hefty.
I know.
That's something
What a
hefty to say.
stamp.
J. Cole, Drake, Lil Wayne, Lil Uzi, and 21 Savage. Glorilla came out because she missed her set. So Drake,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh.
yeah, Drake
okay.
cut a piece of his set so she can have a moment, which I thought was dope too. But
You know how much he loves Memphis.
yeah, you know, ties probably, but yeah, Dreamville Fest was dope.
Great.
Fire.
Well, we
Adam-
got to make sure we'll all be out there so we don't leave you alone. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I know it's a lot of people. We got to protect you.
Whew, yes.
And maybe we can watch the show.
Every year I say I'm gonna go, and then every year I don't go, and I say, oh damn, I watch Nyla store. I'm like,
Should've went.
should have gone. And then the next year comes around, and somehow I still don't make it out there.
And
but I'm gonna go
even
next year
just
for sure.
socially, it's really a vibe. It's mad people on blankets. It's like different Instagram interactive things going on in the festival. If you don't necessarily want to see a performer, Burna Boy showed up, went stupid. You know, people
Yeah.
were a little nervous
Yep,
about
that-
that because you know Burna Boy got a history of not showing up. But No, it was phenomenal.
Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but with a purchase of a ticket to Dreamville, you get a picture with J. Cole. Isn't that right?
What?
I thought I saw you in a picture with J. Cole.
Oh, you're so silly.
Isn't that the cost of admission? Like you get the
I'm
ticket
like,
and a
wait,
picture with Cole?
I wish.
No, that's like the
no.
VIP band again to Drake's compound. The
Right.
Drake compound. It
That's
doesn't come with a picture with
yes,
Drake.
yes.
But it comes with a picture of Cole.
All right, guys. So I got into the Drake compound, and when I was in the Drake compound, J. Cole was there. So my friend's like, go ahead, tell him how you went to St. John's because you love him so much. I'm like, no, that's weird. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to say anything. Hey, Cole, I want you to meet somebody. I'm like, oh my God, okay, don't be embarrassing. Just, talk normal. I did talk normal. It went well. And honestly, I was like, I'm a big fan. Yeah, I said St. John's owes you a check for real because half of us went there for you. He starts laughing. He's like, yeah, they definitely do. I'm like, yeah, they do. I said, but I have a question. He's like, what's up? I'm like, why did you shoot Wet Dreams music video like that? Like, I hate that music video so much.
Wow.
And he's like, you really want to know why? I'm like, yes, please. He's like, I just didn't want to shoot the music video. Like, I was tired. I had just got off tour. I just did this, and the third. Like, I didn't want to do it. So I said, hey, if you guys can come up with a treatment where I don't have to do anything, I'll be there. So I'm like, dang, okay. So he said, I literally was only on set for 10 minutes. They got the dogs and stuff like that. It's not even him walking the dogs. It's another tall, light-skinned guy walking
I
the
enjoyed
dogs.
that
My mom, when
video,
she
though.
told me this yesterday, I was like, this is like ruined my whole perception of reality for the last 7 years of my
I
life.
enjoyed that video.
No, you did not.
I thought it was very
No,
cool.
you didn't.
No.
I thought it was cool. Y'all didn't think it was cool when you saw it for the first time?
Look,
I
bro,
was
I'm gonna keep it a
looking-
buck with you. That video sucks.
Really?
Like, that video is
All
horrible.
right, maybe I haven't seen it in a while, but from what I remember, that
It's
shit
just
was
the
hard.
two
Watch it as a
puppies
28-year-old.
just meeting and
Yeah,
then
it was like a
walking
love
together.
story.
And then like fake
Puppy
like
love.
dry humping. Like it was.
I gotta go revisit that.
I just-
Watch it as a 28-year-old.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have any fond memories.
Wet
Okay.
Dreams is such a cute record that you could have done so much with it. Like, you
Fair.
could have really been a high schooler with a jock jacket on, like actually recreating the story. But, yeah. And I was like, when the video dropped, I'm trying to figure out what's the message behind the video. Like, oh, what is the dog's meat? And then, like, what's the... No, there's nothing to it.
The
He just
message
didn't
that
want to do the
he owed
music video.
Label, he owed the label a video, and he was
Yeah.
like, well, you know what?
But he fulfilled it, though.
Here.
He fulfilled,
That's
he
it.
fulfilled his obligations.
Shout out to him for that.
Shout
Let's
out
check
Cole,
in with the
man.
comments real quick. Some familiar names. This is family at this point. Luke the Boss 7 says Waka Flocka, Summer Walker, Usher, the Cole and Drake set. What happened?
Waka Flocka. Oh my God. Waka
Movie?
Flocka was. He's also an alien. He's more human, but he's also a alien because his performance was nuts.
Word.
You forget how many records he has. He's like party
Right.
king.
Yeah.
You want to be lit? Play Waka Flocka. I think we sleep on him. He deserves a lot more credit, and I think he reminded us of that at Dreamville.
Well, you
Fest.
just gave him some flowers, so that's beautiful.
Yeah, shout out to Flocka. You one
Shout
of
out
my
Waka Flocka,
favorites.
man.
Baguette Baby is back. They said Usher Baby. Black Knowledge said that spirit plug is Cap, Nyla. I love that, man. 666 Adamski 666 says, love this show. We love you too. Change that 666 though, man. Come on. Come on. And we have a comment from, I don't want to say this wrong, Big Sab. I don't know how to say that, but they said, imagine Usher then brought someone else out. We would have had a Drake at Flognaw situation again.
Oh my
Chill.
God, that's so
Yeah.
true.
Just
'Cause-
respectfully, like that. Like if you was in the club at that, if you were in the audience at that Flognaw show, like you a real deal hater because for like you a real deal
Yeah,
hater.
that was crazy.
Because booing Drake off the stage is so crazy to me.
That is-
not even like, and he was playing his classics too.
That is crazy.
Yeah, y'all should be ashamed
It's
of
crazy
yourselves.
'cause it's
This-
Drake.
this many years later.
But if I paid to see somebody and I'm not seeing that somebody,
no, but you weren't paying to see anybody. It was a secret. They all thought
they
it was
didn't know
Frank
who it
Ocean.
was?
That's the thing. They had the wrong like they thought it was someone else, and then it turned out to be Drake, and they were disappointed.
that's a lit show. Drake is a great performer.
Yeah, but if you're thinking you're going to see Frank Ocean, it's a different genre,
and
different
Frank
vibe.
Ocean has another type of fan base, like
Yes,
a.
we
yeah.
know. That
First
we
of all,
know.
to me, Frank Ocean is like an anomaly. Like I know he's doing Coachella this year, but if you think that Tyler is gonna like put the question mark and not just tell you it's gonna be Frank Ocean,
Yeah.
like come on, bro. I know we're easy to be susceptible to things on the internet, but come on, y'all not that dumb.
Amen. All right, couple quick things. One, did you guys see that you can now rent Drake's studio at his crib for $250,000 an hour, and this does not include a verse.
So here's what I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking like we split it 4 ways,
And we
where
do an
Rob,
episode
But wait,
of-
hold on. Yeah, we do the episode of the show there, but Rob pays for 75%.
Amen. And we split the
And we split
25
the
amongst
25
us.
between the three
I'm
of us.
in. I don't know the math on that, but 75% of 250, that got to be like 200.
Man, Rob
Close
got it.
to it, right?
Rob got
Rob
it.
got it. Yo,
Rob
Rob,
got
if you're
it.
watching this, you in the comment section, you know what I'm saying? Just bring out the Amex, bro. You know,
Yeah,
I know you
just-
got the platinum somewhere.
I think it's a safety hazard for him to be doing that. Like,
But if you can afford 250,000, I think that prices out just about all of the threats that you may have.
Right.
Is he
And
no
I hear
longer
the-
living
I
there?
hear the security at his crib is nuts anyway. So
I was about to say, like,
now. Didn't he get robbed not too long ago?
not this one.
the one in LA.
Oh, my, sorry.
Not the
Sorry, a
compound.
life I can't.
First of all,
A life-
have you seen the OVO compound before?
No,
Have you seen like the pictures of it?
He has a full
I
court
seen his
basketball
house in
court.
the house in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I seen it. Oh, that's the compound.
Yeah, it's literally it's like own little city inside of,
Yeah, it's
inside
crazy.
of there.
We got nicknames for his house.
Well, he used to have another compound in L.A. because he bought a crib and the one next
Is this
to it.
the
and
one
then
made
put
a
his-
right? Made a right.
Prep
Is
down
that
the-
the
No, that's
yeah.
that's
Maybe.
the LA compound.
Okay. I don't want to.
Too much
many-
real estate,
yeah.
bro. This is
Too much-
crazy.
Shut up.
But 250K, we've decided we'll split 25. Rob got 75, and we're straight.
See what happens when
And
you're not
actually,
here?
Nathan, I need you to cover my 25.
Nathan got your 1/3 of the 25% that we have to pay. He also released a new snippet of a new record that has a snippet
Yeah.
of an interview. This is messy. That Kim Kardashian, I believe it's when she knew she wanted a divorce from Kanye, and it was a clip from the show or an interview or something like that. And Drake put it in the song. Thoughts?
I think it's interesting because like he did have the bar like linking with the ops. I did that shit for Jay Prince. You feel me? And this kind of feels like that. But then also I saw his dad came out and his dad was like, "Oh, stop trying to instigate beef between Drake and Kanye again."
Drake's dad said
Drake's
that?
dad, yeah, Drake's dad.
Oh, wow.
But it's funny how Drake's dad likes to insert himself at random points when Drake is like allegedly involved in something in the media. But I do think it's interesting because it's like if you was cool with Ye again, then I don't know why you do the snippet. But it
The
is a
thing
pretty.
is, I don't think they were cool. That's the thing. I don't think they were ever cool.
You're saying after the Jay Prince show?
Yeah, like I think it was kind of linking with the ops. So I did that shit for Jay Prince, which I did it for the mob ties. And then I think this is my theory. I just think they were never cool. He did it because Jay Prince made the ask, and when Jay Prince asks for something, people do it.
Yeah.
And it was sour shortly after that. So that's my opinion.
Let me see. I had wrote what she said exactly, but honestly, I feel like maybe people are making it a bigger thing than what it is. Kim Kardashian is a huge socialite. He might have really resonated with the clip. She said, I didn't come this far to come this far and not be happy. That's a bar.
It is an absolute bar, but Drake is way too surgical to
Right.
not have known the context of that clip. I think it was intentional.
Like
think it was intentional?
Yeah, I think Drake is heavy on the. There's no timeline on my get back. So I'm just saying.
I'm getting that lick back at some point.
At some
regardless.
point, it could be 3 months from now.
Does
it
he
could be
need to
next
get
week.
back from Kanye though?
You don't know what happened. I mean,
Remember Kanye posted his address, like they, kind of got
you're
a
not
little.
posting your Addy, somebody else's
Kinda
Addy
got a
on
little nasty.
Instagram. Is
All
crazy.
right.
Or Twitter, whatever it was.
got-
Maybe I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt
I
with
also
it.
want to add too, Speedy. I think we forgot to mention, Riff Raff actually rented out
He did,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
for
the
Drake's
house.
home studio.
But not even for just 1 hour. I think it was for 2 hours.
yeah,
Half a ticket for 2 hours.
He needs to let me come up there and write some songs with him.
You right?
I will.
Yeah, all right. For the right price, there go your 25% that you needed right there.
Dang, I hate that you guys said that Drake did that on purpose. I'm over people beefing
Come
with
on.
Drake. No, I really don't think it was on purpose. Kim Kardashian is a huge figure.
no, yeah, but I think
And
I'm over people beefing with him too. But I'm just saying that it's just like it's too calculated of a move. I feel like you could find a bunch. Look at your
I'm
face.
sorry. Can
you
we
look
cut
like
to my
Rob right now.
close-up real quick?
You look like Rob right now with
Can
the.
we cut to my close up real quick? I just want to make it. This is my reaction to Nyla thinking it wasn't on purpose.
Stop.
Carry
I just
on.
feel like it's old. It's such an old beef. Kim Kardashian is still a major public figure. People know her voice. I think they were friends prior to her being with Kanye. No, that doesn't mean anything.
No.
Whatever. Men and women operate differently, so I'll leave it at
But
that.
but you know what? I will say that that's a very like that's a statement that I feel like a million other women have made in interviews before. So why couldn't you have taken any of those?
I ain't never heard nobody say that.
Or I'm not saying bar for bar, word for word. I'm just saying like
Something similar.
something in that same vein. You could have just taken that, but why you had to use Kim Kardashian, huh?
We'll leave that there.
No timeline on
Wrap
Get
that
Back.
up on a.
No time like
Tie it up
Little
with a
button.
nice little bow, put it on. You know what I'm saying?
On a more optimistic note, just a quick shout out. Amazon Music has officially kicked off their campaign to celebrate 50 years in hip hop. Half of a century, man. That's incredible.
That's beautiful.
I still remember when hip hop was invented 50 years ago. I remember it like it was yesterday.
What are you talking about? Like,
This is
why
like where
you
this is where
lying?
Speedy's conspiracy comes out that he's a vampire, and everybody online is like finds a picture of Speedy from like the 1950s. They're like, "Fuck, I
That's
knew it.
him. I knew
That's
it all
him. I
along.
knew it."
No, but shout out to hip hop for having us here, man. Our
Yeah.
paths will
Yeah.
cross, and we're all in these seats because of hip hop.
For sure.
Shout out to the forefathers of the and foremothers of the genre.
Shout out to the Bronx, man.
Yeah, big shout out to the Bronx, and shout out to Queens for having the best rappers of all time.
Okay, now
All right.
now you're
Anyways,
just lying.
let's get into our first.
Now you're just lying.
I'm not debating you. I don't want no
No,
problems
I'm not
tonight.
doing this
Come
right
on.
now. I'm not doing this with you right
Let's
now.
get into
Now you're
it.
just lying on camera, bro. This is
Rob's not
crazy.
here and things are flying off the rails. Let's get into our first big conversation. And again, I just want to encourage the commenters out there, please chime in because we definitely care about what y'all have to say.
Yes.
But the big question is this: what have been the hip hop highlights of 2023 thus far? It's already Q2 at this point. It's April. What comes to mind initially when you think about highlights so far for this year?
Off the top for me would definitely be SZA rapping. You know, SZA spent 8-9 weeks #1 on the charts. That's major, especially as a black woman. And you know, on her album, though I don't love it as much as I love Control. The fact that she's on the charts that long, and then 2, she gave us so many variations. She gave us alternative music.
Yep.
She gave us the classic R&B that we love for her, and then she gave us, you know, rapping, fuck my ex shit. So she gave us a little bit of everything. So I'd say SZA for sure. Who else? Who are you thinking?
Well, first of all, we got to mention the Drake and J. Cole at Dreamville Fest. I think that
Sure.
automatically
That's definitely
has
a
to go on there.
highlight.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, something that I had I wrote down was that DJ Drama dropped I think about 6 Gangsta Grills this year already. Already.
Goodness.
Already.
What? This year?
This year alone, to name a few, he had the French Montana, Coke Boys, I think 5 or 6 project. He had his own project, of course, that just came out.
Yep.
Tyler, the Creator, the Estate Sale, the joint with G Perico. I think the Icewear Vezo one came out this year. And I think there was another 1 or 2 that I can't remember off the top of my head. But I think, shout out to Drama, because we're only into the 4th month of this
Yeah.
year, and he's already dropped 6 Gangsta Grills.
Yeah.
And Fabio's Gangsta Grills is coming out soon too. So
Goodness gracious.
that's about to be 7 just in a matter of 4 months.
When does this guy sleep?
That's a lot.
Hey man,
Goodness gracious.
I ain't mad at him, but I would say that has definitely been a moment. And then I think I know Speedy and myself.
We're aligned.
What is this?
Me and Speedy's personal favorite moment of this year is this Ice Spice's project.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something
It's
else.
more, in general, I would say Ice Spice just asserting her dominance in hip hop right now. You know,
I just would like to say that all night when we're previewing and prepping for the show, they're like, "Are these the questions?" I'm like, "Oh God, are we just gonna do
can't
this
help
all
but to say
night?"
at the end of
We're
everything.
walking down the hallway,
Like, no, but honestly though, watching a young woman from New York at that not only drop music, but own the moment of TikTok, own the moment of Twitter, and consistently have multiple hits that generate conversation and memes and viral I don't know. I've loved watching it. It to me is kind of reminiscent of when Lil Nas X first came out and he had Old Town Road and then
Interesting.
spun. You said interesting?
Yeah, I
listen,
did.
listen.
I don't know where you're going with
no,
that.
I know where you're going with this,
Listen,
bro.
hear me out.
You can stop now while you're ahead.
Hear me. No. It's a good thing. Hear me out.
Okay.
The way Lil Nas X used the internet as a tool to promote his upcoming records, like he did with the record Panini. Even his whole Old Town Road was like a manufactured moment with, I don't know if you guys know the origin story, but there was a cowboy or some shit at a rodeo, and he was just like, damn, country music is evolving. And he tweeted it from a burner, but it was actually him and his song, and then it blew up. Anyways, long story short, the way he utilized the internet kind of reminds me now of how Ice Spice is using TikTok particularly to just fucking run it up. And I think
Right.
it's impressive to watch children of the internet use it in a way that brings them to new heights.
There's
So,
always
I
one who
respect that,
does it. Soulja Boy started it off.
right. We know.
And the
we
burn,
know.
the
We've
burner.
never debated
He'll
this.
never let us forget.
We don't want no problems.
And
with
you will
Soulja.
never ever forget. You will never let us forget.
But I think the burner account that you were talking about for Lil Nas X was the Nicki Minaj fan page that he later turned.
it might have been.
Yeah.
He later turned it to his own page. That's insane. I'm about to make a Nicki Minaj fan page, so I could do the same thing. That
You
is
already have a
genius.
Nyla Symone fan page because remember the comments last
Oh,
time she
shut
was
up.
in the remember she had like
Oh, yeah, you had your
mad
bots in the
fans
comments.
The bot.
but it was
I don't
her.
have
She just
no
had the
bot.
phone under the table.
Oh.
And they're just like,
Hush.
DMV supremacy, DMV supremacy.
You guys are silly.
Quick comment check. Crispy Jack is back. They say Ice Spice for sure. Salute. Luke the Boss. You know what? I have to acknowledge this too. So Luke the Boss's comment says the performance of God did at the Grammys, the Drake and J. Cole set, Ice Spice is an artist. I will say for me, the God did performance at the Grammys was a
Incredible.
definite
dope.
moment. Performing a 8-minute record on TV to close out the show, with Hove doing his 5-minute verse.
Yeah.
Friday having his very first televised performance. Khaled doing what he does and Ross killing it per usual. I don't know. I loved it. I was rapping that shit word for word when it was on.
You know what? Word for word.
Yeah.
All
You
8
not?
minutes.
Yes.
Yo,
Cat.
somebody pull up the beat.
Play it right
Nathan,
now.
pull up the beat,
That's
please.
cat.
Somebody pull up the beat.
Okay.
You know
I
all of Jay's.
I know Jay's 6-minute verse by
Okay.
heart.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I
We
knew-
can pull up the beat, bro. I
when-
can do it on
listen,
the radar intro right now.
This
We
is
can
a
do
great
this. We can get
social
this
clip
going.
that we can have, and I'll just
Do it.
record the whole 6 minutes. No, I'm not even.
No, you're not
would
gonna
love
do
that.
it. This.
All right.
I would absolutely love that. I didn't realize you guys were talking about moments in hip hop. I thought we were talking about music in hip hop.
No, but give us a
You
little
went.
bit of
everything.
But
Yeah.
definitely, since we're talking about the Grammys, that Hip Hop 50 tribute that they did was super dope.
Questlove
Tight,
killed
yeah.
that, man.
Yes. Oh my God. And honestly, I know we only had a certain amount of time to do it, but I'm like, I wish we could get more.
Yeah.
Like I wish they could have
Like a
longer
concert
sets.
type,
Yeah.
like a full
Yeah.
proper concert going in and out of everybody.
Yeah. My only little that I didn't like was that it jumped from like Nelly's era to Little Baby.
Yeah, that was kind
Like,
of crazy. I ain't gonna
Really?
lie.
That's a
Yeah.
huge jump.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
realize that.
Yeah, we had-
But didn't Glorilla perform for a second too?
Little
I
Baby,
think
then
after
Glorilla.
Yeah.
And then
Uzi.
Uzi closed it.
Yeah.
Wow, I just got word that there is a poll that we're gonna put in the chat. Do they think that I know all of Jay-Z's verse on God Did? Listen, if y'all have faith in your boy, like I think you do,
I
vote yes.
Nope.
Because I'm telling you, I dead know this verse. I wouldn't lie.
How many times
I'm
did
an honest
you
man. Oh, bro, I've
run
listened
it
to
back
shit
to
so many
listen?
fucking times. But like, it's so inspirational. It's so motivational. And also, don't forget, I interviewed Khaled for the album, so I heard it beforehand, and I heard the rumblings about it. So I was like,
So you've been-
let me hear what this shit is about. Trust me, I know this verse. But I'm curious to see what if y'all believe in your boy, vote yes.
Can you just imagine Speedy like sitting there with Khaled off camera and Khaled's just sitting there like this, watching Speedy memorize
Learn
the
it.
entire whole
I'm trying to
verse?
remember the
He's like,
last-
you can't leave my crib until you memorize the whole.
You're not
whole
going
verse.
anywhere.
Is
until
that
you
the
know
last record you made yourself remember? Because in my old age,
It's hard. It does
in
get
my old
harder.
age, it gets harder to remember.
gets harder to remember.
Was that the
Now,
last
old
one you
age
did?
is crazy. It's crazy.
This big age, it's hard to remember verses.
The last record that I sat and actually was like, nah, I'm gonna learn this is JID and Denzel Curry with Bruh remix.
But
Oh.
let me clarify this though. I didn't sit down and intentionally decide to learn these lyrics. Like I didn't
alright,
study
on
that.
my own. Okay.
I didn't like pull up azlyrics.com and like
You mean genius?
Genius, whatever.
Yeah, come on.
I didn't pull up any of that.
Support the home team.
Sorry. I just
Shout out AZ Lyrics.
I just heard it so many times that I remembered
Like,
it after a while.
That's a long ass verse to remember, Speedy. I'm
It is.
impressed. Well, I will be impressed if you actually
just
do
have
know
faith in me.
I feel like I picture Nyla at home with the YouTube on the TV and her
Like
just
it's
watching
karaoke?
I be trying to catch it.
The
Like
lyric
back in the
videos?
day.
Yes.
Like how people be like, like they used to watch like Nicki Minaj videos after class and the girls would sit there memorizing the lyrics.
Yeah.
That's what it's giving Nyla.
I
ain't gonna
am
lie.
definitely that girl. I'm not lying. to
Salute
you.
though. I love that you leaned into it.
Yeah.
While we're talking about 2023, I'm wondering what region of America, or the world for that matter, will really dominate 2023. Do you think it'll be the Memphis area? Do you think it's Detroit? Is it New York City drill making a
We were
comeback?
actually talking about this on the AMP show.
Is it the UK? Is it, is it Afro beats? Like what?
Well, Afrobeats, of course, are gonna
Yeah.
stay.
But maybe,
doing
yeah.
I
for sure.
think it's Memphis and Detroit's like right
Yeah.
here.
Well, I would say it's Memphis, Detroit, and Florida, just all kind of on the same plateau
yeah.
right now.
I'm surprised to hear you not say New York.
Well, because you know what it is, man.
Let's actually compliment him on that. Yes.
Right.
Thank you. The
A
growth.
beautiful, unbiased answer from Gabe.
A beautiful, unbiased answer. But the reason why I say that is because, like, I see, especially with Detroit right now, and shout out Ice War Vezo. We had this conversation like a couple weeks ago, but a lot of the beats that I feel like a lot of people on the East Coast have been starting to do are Detroit beats. Like even there are some New York artists who have started to adapt the Detroit beats, and even at some showcases that I've been at lately, there's like one artist, he's like, there's this one kid who's like, I'm from the Bronx, but I got some Detroit shit. And he's rapping over Detroit beats, and I started noticing that. And there's also a bunch of artists out of Philly. Shout out YBC Duel. He raps over Detroit beats too. And I just started kind of noticing this Detroit wave going from being like just like a localized thing in Detroit to now kind of moving its way up the East Coast. So I actually tweeted the other day. I said my prediction is that by the end of this year or sometime next year, all the East Coast rappers are gonna be all rapping over Detroit beats.
Wow.
Well, not all East Coast, but like Northeast.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm about to say all New York rappers is a stretch because there's some New York artists that ain't budging.
Well, yeah. Like A Boogie's not gonna be rapping over Detroit beat, but I feel like how drill's the predominant sound right now. Sure. I feel like that's gonna either not get replaced, but it'll become more overcome by Detroit beats.
Fair.
That's my prediction. And Memphis and Florida just gonna keep killing it. You know what I'm saying? Finesse 2 times and Glorilla really got Memphis on lock right now. And then Florida, you got like La Tyler really leading the charge with a lot of the younger stuff too. So
yeah. Nah, agreed.
Damn, no pushback from Nyla.
Wow. We love it.
Crazy.
What a family moment we're having
But
here.
for me, it's
We're all in
definitely
alignment.
it's Memphis all day. Key Glock's project was hard. I love all the girls coming out of Memphis right now. I love K Carbon. I love Glitter Gloss. I love Glorilla also.
Yep.
Who else?
Slime. I like Slime.
Slimeroni. Yeah,
yep.
just Memphis got it. For me, Memphis got it. Florida hasn't fallen off. I don't know. They're going just steady. Low-key, Atlanta hasn't fallen off too. We keep saying who's next, but Atlanta's still.
What?
Atlanta's still there.
No, they're still. I feel like Atlanta's always going to be there. It's kind of like.
I don't want to say that because that's how New York felt, and New York is not there.
Okay, well, I feel like at least for current time period we're in, Atlanta's always going to be there. But I'm just saying in terms of like regional, like Detroit's the way that Detroit artists are moving right now.
Yeah, Detroit
compared
too.
to Atlanta, crazy, and Memphis, crazy. And obviously, I think with the Atlanta stuff, if Thug was still around, what I'm saying, if he was out right now doing his thing, I feel like we wouldn't be having the same type of convo. But I think because he's away and because everything that's going on. And the way that just these other cities or other states have been moving, it's different.
I think what it is, I'm really not sure. This is just me talking, but I think what it is like when cities are able to create like a culture, a music culture, and like a music scene for them. Like New York was able to create one, they had it. Atlanta created one, they had it for like 20 years, honestly. So now Memphis is creating one. They're getting infrastructure. So now they got, the Gottis. Like Atlanta got T.I. and all the people who are able to put in other people. Now Memphis is starting to get that. Now Detroit is starting to get that. Now cities that usually don't or aren't able to get that are getting that. So I think they will all get their run, and then there's going to be another smaller city that starts to get a run. Like I feel like Chicago, when they had their renaissance, for some reason I feel like it got cut short.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I think, it's kind of funny how you said that because when I was talking to Vezo actually said something that I really had to think about too. He's like, and this could go for other cities as well, but it was like when I was telling him about how I feel like Detroit beats are really going to kind of start impacting the Northeast and New York. He said, well, New York has taken care of hip hop for so long. He's like, it's like a family member who's taking care of you for all your life. It's like sometimes it's time for the newer people to take care of the older family members. So he's like, it's not that, New York, if this is the way it goes, is like biting Detroit. No, it's like New York has done so much for hip hop over the past 50 years. Now it's time, let hip hop take care of New York.
Yeah.
And I really like that. And I think that goes for any other city. You know what I'm saying? You could insert any other city that's become like Atlanta as like a staple of hip hop. You could say the same thing. It's like if the Atlanta sound fell off and they adopted Memphis hypothetically, Atlanta took care of hip hop for X amount of years. So it's okay for other cities to now take care of Atlanta. And I kind of like that sentiment. I feel like that's a real like mature, that's
that
a
is
mature
very poetic
sentiment.
too.
Yeah.
I have to jump into the comments, and it breaks my heart to see this. But it seems like people don't believe in me, man. Luke
He's
the Boss
lying.
7.
He's lying.
Luke the Boss 7. I've read so many of your comments that I felt like we had a bond. I felt like we were here. But I'm heartbroken to see that you don't believe in me. Because Luke the Boss 7 says, I'm not going to lie, I want to see you rap that ish. Because you doubt me. That's sad.
Let's close it with that.
Yeah, listen, I will, but I do charge. Indamar says, rap for us. None of us believe you. Nobody? It's somebody out there that believe me. Jillian
Nobody at the
Superstar
table.
says, all 6 minutes, big cap. Wow, Black Knowledge, Speedy Cap in the night. Damn.
You don't even
Crispy Jack is back and says, Pixar, it didn't happen, Speedy. I got you. Brittany always ready 22. All of y'all look under 30 talking about old age. Wow. Shawnee Bravo says no in the British accent.
Nar.
Nar. Is that how you? I don't even know how do you, but I know that that's that British accent. And then I still want to learn how to say this name, but Big Sab says, I'm sorry, Speedy, nah.
Damn.
I'm sorry that you don't believe in me. That's really
I'm sorry
the
that y'all don't believe that we're all over 30.
Right. And the poll results are in.
I'm not.
Legitimately, 57% of y'all said no.
Dang.
Don't believe me.
Wow.
And 43% say yes. That really does break my heart.
I feel like it's a good, honestly, I expected more 50-50.
You know how Khaled opens that song, right? He says, it breaks my heart. And that's how I feel right in this moment. It
Oh
breaks
my
my heart.
You've been hanging out with him too much, man. I
No,
ain't
it
gonna lie.
breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. While we're just closing up this 2023 conversation, it's almost time for the XXL freshman class. I think Gabe, you would probably know how it works, but the 10th spot is a voting. You can vote for it, or is the whole list
Yeah.
now votable?
How I think it goes is like you could vote for the 10th spot, but they also in the voting system, and somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, but they have like the other artists who are going to be on the cover in that. So to avoid, because it's like let's say Ice Spice wasn't there in the voting, you would be like, oh, she. You would already know.
Sure.
So I believe that's how it works. I think they have now a new committee. I believe we talked about this on AMP yesterday.
Yep.
There's like a committee that kind of oversees the voting for that now, kind of similar, I believe, to like the Grammys and the Oscars, whatever. But yeah, so you could go vote for the 10th spot right now. I have my prediction right now, if for this to be like one of those legendary covers, there's 3 to 4 people that need to be on this cover, right?
Let's hear them.
Ice Spice,
Yes.
Glorilla,
Yes.
Central C,
Yes.
Lola Brooke.
Wow. Okay.
Lola Brooke is my biased one, by the way.
I was going to say, amongst some of the other names that I have seen circulating,
Yeah.
Lola Brooke is an interesting one. Now, is there a lock for you? Give us a couple, 1 or 2. It could be even the same, but anybody that you
need the
feel
list, I got it.
needs to be on this XXL.
I agree with the names Gabe said. I also, and mine is also biased too, but I would like Mia to be on there. I mean, Maya the Dawn.
Maya the Dawn.
I like her.
Yeah, like.
Can you hit us with some of the names, Gabe?
All right, so we got Armani White, who he had the
Billie
Eilish.
Eilish.
Yep, you know what I'm saying. Baby Drill, Be Love, Baby Money. I think Baby Money and Skilla Baby, they're both from Detroit. I think they're very strong contenders for this year. Bandman Road from Jersey's also up there. Big Fizzle, Big X the Plug, who's been my pick on the show a couple times. Some Memphis, Big Boogie. Big Boss Vet, who I think is also an incredible
doing good right now.
female artist. CO Trail, Big Yavo, Central C. From New York, we got Didi Osama, Dougie B, Eam Triplin, Finesse 2 Times is up for it as well. Friday's up for it too.
I would love Friday.
I would love for that also.
I think Friday has had such a beautiful rise, and out of nowhere has a Grammy-nominated record, has a song that's gonna go platinum
His
with Lil
story is
Baby.
really dope.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to. I think he deservingly should be on this list.
Especially with the other singers who've been on it before, like Ty Dolla $ign has been on it before.
yeah.
Wasn't August Alsina on it before, I believe?
I think so.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Like
I
I
think he was the
remember
same
him.
year as Chance the Rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
I
can
think
see
they
that.
would be cool. And then some other ones that I personally want are La Tyler from
Yes.
Florida, of course. And then my super strong pick is Jaleel.
Jaleel, yeah.
That was great, by the way.
I practiced that.
For me, I really wish Rob was here since he has put together a lot of these like classes before, so he can give us some insight on just how they actually pick these people.
Of course.
Because when I look back at some of the lists from past years, I'm kind of confused as to how some people got on the list. But for me, what I would definitely like to see, which is something that I like about XXL, is like 29 up, 2019 up. It went from like the first girl being on the cover to 2 girls being on the cover to 3 girls being on the cover. So I definitely think this year it should be female dominated. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a female. I'm saying that because the females are really dominating. So if the list doesn't reflect that, I think it's a problem. And also it's funny because usually I feel like XXL lists kind of propel artists into having like their year, where like Ice Spice is already having her year. Glorilla already having her year. A lot of these girls, like, it's like, if they weren't nominated for it, it wouldn't even matter because they're already huge. So it's interesting.
But I think it'd be cool to see them. Like I said, like that's why I said Central C, Ice Spice, and Glorilla, because honestly, none of them really need the cover. You know what I'm saying?
at all.
Central C might be, for some more U.S. appeal, but I feel like he's
He'll
already
be the
kind of
first London artist, though.
definitely the first, and he loves being the first to do things here in America. Let me tell you that for
Does
sure.
he?
Yes, he definitely does.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I know that he won an award in the UK for something. And when, I think it was like newcomer of the year, and he got up there, he was like, I'm not really a newcomer because I've been doing this for such a long time. But it's funny to hear him say anything in his British accent. So,
And he was up there in like a Nike Tech too.
Yeah.
Which I respect the rawness of that.
bro, that's exactly what I would do. Like, I've been to some of the most important places of my life in a tracksuit or a sweatsuit. So, salute to Central
Oh,
C.
I thought you were saying that's something you would do, as in you would say something like that. Like, I'm not a newcomer, but thank you for finally noticing me.
I wouldn't say that. Real quick before we move on, I want to jump into the comments, and I want to give a personal shout out to DGKPG because they say, Speedy, I believe, man. I believe.
This makes one of y'all.
And I believe in you, my brother.
That must
Or
be
my
a
sister.
Speedy bot.
Yeah,
I
dead ass.
appreciate you. I don't even know what those initials stand for. DGK.
It stands
DG.
for Speedy Bot DGK.
I believe in you, and you believe in me. We're locked in for life.
Oh my God.
For life.
All right, come on.
All right. Nyla, if I take a quick look down at your shoes, I see you have a pair of Jordan 1s on today.
Yes, I do.
The new movie Air is coming out. It's starring Ben Affleck, Marlon Wayans, Chris Tucker, Viola Davis. You guys haven't seen it yet, have you? Have you seen the
No.
trailers?
I have seen the trailers for it. I believe
You
Ben
seen it
Affleck
already?
directed it too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think
I believe
so.
he did direct it too. It looked really good in the trailer. I haven't gotten a chance to see it yet, but
It's not out yet, I don't think.
No, I don't think
It might be. I don't know.
And there is Michael Jordan is in the movie, I think. Well, not Michael Jordan, like Michael Jordan, but like somebody playing Michael Jordan. So I am very interested to see how that goes.
Damn, you're going to be upset too. I don't even want to rain on your parade, but you'll see why I say that when you watch the movie. But
what does that mean?
Wait, no,
what does
yeah,
that
right on
mean?
his
Is
parade.
this
I
like-
wanna
is this like
know.
Is this like a
Movie hasn't come out
is this like when we're watching like Notorious and like they got what's his name playing Tupac? Oh my God, it's gonna Anthony
No.
Mackie. Anthony Mackie walks on scene playing Tupac, and you're just like,
no,
what is going on?
It's man, I don't know if I can. Well, let's just say this: Michael Jordan is in the movie, but you'd never really see him.
Oh,
I'll leave it there. It's kind of vague, but you never really see him.
They do the you ever watch like Charlie Brown as a kid with the parents? They never show the bodies.
Oh,
of the
that's
parents.
like
They never show the face of the parents.
what's
just
the
body.
character from the Proud Family?
Wizard Kelly.
Wizard-
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
kind of a Wizard Kelly situation.
Oh my God.
Just so you know.
I'm not surprised.
All right.
But
yeah,
the
'cause who could
movie
really
is about
do that?
essentially the release of the Air Jordan 1. The anniversary of the release of the Air Jordan 1 is April 1st, 1985. I'm wearing J's today.
I got forces on.
Gabe got ups on, but that's okay. Obviously, Jordans are such a big part of our lives. But let's just speak to the impact of like sport and streetwear being influenced or permeating into hip hop. What comes to mind when you think about like the relationship of hip hop and style?
The Nike Yeezys, man. Like the Red Octobers.
Yeah.
Do you remember when those dropped?
How could I forget?
Do you remember how hell it was to even try to get a pair of those?
I remember where I was at when they dropped because
Where were you at?
At this time, I had the Twitter alerts on my phone. I was a sophomore in college and I was talking to my mans, and my phone was over there and I saw it light up, and my man was over there, but he didn't tell me what it said, and I was making like some chicken tenders and some broke college student meal, and then when I went back to my phone, it said the Nike Air Yeezy 2 Red October is now available. And I was like, oh my God. And I swiped, and when I opened it, it was already sold out. Within like a minute and a half, and I was crushed. But yeah, certainly a moment. That's a great example of like hip hop overlapping with sneaker culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think what really impacted me, I guess, was like the AI era, because my brother and my dad were obsessed with Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
And then when I got to interview him back in like 2019, and they re-released his Iversons with Reebok.
Yep.
And it was just like, just remembering like all the impactful things he did, like that commercials he did with Jadakiss rapping.
Yeah.
You remember that commercial?
Of course.
Iconic commercial. So I think like, and even, I just watched the Fab Five documentary.
Wow.
Just the things that they have done, like hip hop and like basketball culture, sportswear, sneakers has always been tied like this. So, we've always been inspired by it. AI with the braids and the tattoos. He was the first like NBA player to get other people doing tattoos because he was inspired by rappers. So for me, that was also the era where I was obsessed with Bow Wow. And Allen Iverson and Bow Wow came to, at the time in DC, it was called the Verizon Center. And they did like a show. So that for me is like the first impact where it's like, all right, Dad, I want to get these shoes. You know what I mean? But as far as like currently, I would say that what I like about Nike, and I said this last week when we were talking about Adidas and Ivy Park, Nike has been dominating, and after Nike, it's New Balances. But Nike has been. Am I bugging?
I mean, no, I'm not
I
disputing.
guess right now, yeah. As of right now.
As of right now,
I'm with you there right now, yeah. I wouldn't have said that like 5 years ago, but right now, yeah.
5 years
Stop
ago.
it.
Please don't do this.
And 5 years
stop
ago
thinking
was
about
the
that.
Forward in your
And wait, hold on.
Please,
and then
no, you're thinking too hard about this. Just let it go.
5 years ago, meaning like college.
Yeah.
In college, you would say Adidas.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fair.
Even a year ago, I would have said Adidas.
Nah, and that's cap. But
How's it cap? Go
that's
ahead.
definitely
How is it cap?
They had Yeezys and what else?
You said what you needed to say. They had Yeezys. Like, what are you talking
Also,
about?
Come on, Shell Toes, Stan Smiths.
Right, you could run
Stan-
DMCs.
The most iconic.
Run DMCs with
yeah,
the with,
in the
come on.
80s. People aren't wearing shell toes right now. One, two.
wear shell-
People wear shell toes.
Two, Stan Smiths were like a popping thing. Like Stan Smiths are cool shoes now. I think Stan Smiths are almost like the Air Force Ones for Adidas. Like they're just like the cool white shoe that you can always get away with. But they're not popping like they were when they first dropped.
Well,
Like
I mean,
when
they
did
first
the-
dropped 40
when-
years ago.
Or when they first, I guess like right after college. Stans was hot. Now it's you're not really looking for Stans. You're looking for Nike or New Balance.
Okay.
But I think, didn't Pharrell have his own pair of Stan Smiths a couple years ago too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Pharrell had
Pharrell
a,
did.
a
He got
whole,
the human race.
The human race on, yeah.
One of my favorite things he did was I forget what he called it. I think it was called the Adidas Super Color, and he released
Yes.
50 pairs of shell toes,
I got the red.
all in like a Pantone, but it was 50 different shades. And the way you checked out on the site was there was
Y'all
like
want
a
to know when that
wheel.
was though? 5 years ago.
It was.
That's
It
actually
honestly was
probably
more
later
than
than
5
that.
years.
Yeah,
ago.
like
we were definitely in college when that happened.
that's what
Yeah, I
I'm
was in
saying.
college,
It's
too.
been a long time for them.
Well,
That's
I
all
don't
I'm
know.
saying.
It's hard to speak about sneakers without acknowledging the run that Yeezy was on, bro. Like
Yeah.
from the first ever Adidas Yeezy, which was the 350, to like the what do they call the foam
Foam runners.
Foam
To
runners.
the slides.
Yeah, bro. Like come on.
Look, they're called
BFFR.
I'm a person who.
Yo,
FFR.
What does that mean?
what does that
Fucking
say?
real.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm like, where are you getting this lingo from?
I've been on TikTok
Speedy's trying to
lately,
prove
I'm
that he's
sorry.
not 30.
Hey, fellow
You
kids.
got that. I'll say
I know
this.
TikTok slang.
I'm a person who doesn't spend my money on things that I don't support. So when Kanye lost me, I stopped
Amen.
I
even
respect
paying
that.
attention to it.
I respect
So
that.
if you guys do see me in a pair of Yeezys, I didn't pay for it. Okay, someone give me those.
I just want to acknowledge too, hip hop and basketball specifically have such a great overlap. A lot of basketball players try to be rappers, and some of them are good. But I will say, Shaq, I don't know if you guys know this,
Stop.
has a platinum record.
Yes.
Did you know
That
that?
record is platinum?
Shaq has a platinum record.
Did you know Shaq is working on another album?
Is he really?
Yes.
Is he rapping?
I believe he might be.
Really?
Shout out my guy Blackway. I think he did. He has a couple songs.
shit.
He did a song with him.
There's
or
a couple
something like
Good
that.
for
placements.
him.
Yeah, a
Good
couple
for him,
placements.
man.
Shaq placements is crazy to say, right?
Even
Yeah.
Connie Diamond got one with Damian Lillard.
With
right
Damian Lillard. Who else had rapped?
Iman Shumpert.
rapped. Yep.
AI has a record.
Yep.
Kobe rapped before. Rest in peace to
Rest in
Kobe.
peace. Yep.
Jaren Jackson, NBA All-Star,
No.
he raps.
I think Lillard might be my favorite out of all of them, though.
Lillard is probably the best.
Yeah, Lillard's definitely the best.
No, I'm just
Look, I'm the one who shot at Lillard in the first place, so
You did.
I'm not hating.
no hate. Let's jump in the comments real quick. Might take another one. Says if Jordans never existed, what shoe would be in that number one spot? I think even independent of Jordans existing, the number one greatest shoe of all time is the Uptown. To me, Nike Air Force One. It's a
Little
perfect
New
shoe.
York
I mean-
bias.
Feel me? You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't even think that's New York. Who made the Air Force One record?
I mean, let's not
Okay,
act
let's-
like
let's keep it a
Nelly is
stack
responsible for the Air Force One.
I didn't say he's responsible for the Air Force One. I'm just saying Air Force One's not a New York thing. You guys got Tim's.
The Air Force One is
Rock-
not a New York.
New York thing.
They're literally
That-
called Uptowns.
But no,
Now,
you
I
guys
want
call
you to
them.
walk
No,
through Manhattan.
you
walk
guys
through the
call them
entire city
Uptowns.
in the summer, and like 3 months from now, and I want you to just look down.
And I also want you
and
guys
everyone.
to know that you can go anywhere in the United States, and people in every country or every state is going to be wearing Uptown.
I hope,
but
so.
not like
It's
New
not-
York.
Yeah, I hope they do.
Oh my
But
God.
they ain't gonna swag it right. That's
Yeah.
You guys see
respectfully.
what I mean by this biasness? People have been wearing
No,
Air
respectfully,
Force
because you
One.
keep trying to say New York ain't
Yeah,
ain't-
like, come
ain't
on.
the-
You guys got
the
y'all Tim's.
Mecca.
You guys
we
just got a whole segment
got-
on
you can't
Tim's.
give us-
you can't give
You
us
guys
the
just did a
Tim's.
whole
just say
segment
that.
on
You-
Tim's last
but you
week.
can't
and
just
now
say
you
that.
got
Hold
every
on.
week you
Time
claim
out.
something.
Flag on the play.
You can't give us Tim's and not give us Air Force Ones, Nyla.
Right, and you can't say
They're
we
hand
claim.
in hand.
You can't say we claiming something when we are the mecca of that
Yeah.
something. It
Yeah,
doesn't.
The brands know too. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Tim did a whole campaign around New York being the.
I said y'all had Timbs, but now y'all trying to take Air Force Ones,
Come
and I'm
on.
like, this is just nuts.
If not New York, then where?
This is just nuts. You guys just see something and claim it. It don't
We
even
don't
got
see
nothing
something
to
and
do
claim
with
it.
it.
That's not even true.
I'm perturbed.
Yeah, me too.
That's true. Nobody can
Let's
swag
move
it
on
out.
before
Nobody
I
can
start
swag it out
crying.
like us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, come on, man.
Y'all being real light skinned.
I don't know. You live you're in New York. You
Yeah,
went to college here. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
New
an
York
Army
and that.
brat. I was born in Germany. I'm from everywhere.
Were you really born in Germany?
I was really born in Germany.
Wow.
It's a fun fact
speak
about Nyla
German?
Symone.
No.
All right.
Respect our
Germans.
ups, please. Okay?
You were born in Germany. You're not rocking with Adidas. That's crazy. That's
Oh
the
my-
home team. That's the home team.
I just said
Come
Adidas
on.
hasn't had it in 5 years, maybe more.
man.
Gracious. All right, let me jump back in these comments before I move on.
Even Puma,
German
even Puma has
citizenship.
been,
Yeah, your passport is invalid.
even Puma has been doing alright.
Puma been going crazy lately. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, Big C 1901 says the Yeezys are trash.
I disagree.
All
They're
right.
comfortable.
Baguette Baby is back. They say stands are out. Well, the gavel's been slammed now. Stands are unwearable at this point. Luke DeBoss, my brother, who I thought was my brother, who turned on me, said, hip-hop has been so influential in fashion, but looking back before I was born, it seemed like Run DMC really helped pave the way of helping make Adidas cool. That is a fact, and we spoke about that. Was that last episode or the episode before?
I think it was last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last episode.
Yeah, big shout out to Run DMC. And if you don't know where Run DMC is from, Nyla, do you know where Run DMC is from?
Queens.
Okay.
Hollis, Queens.
Just want to say big shout out to Queens.
You know, just New York
You know, New York
Just
in
New York,
general.
you know.
The best city in the world.
in the world. Best fashion.
Y'all talking
Best-
about
best
Adidas. Y'all can have
people.
that one.
best style.
best ups.
Best ups
Best,
ever.
Best
you know what I'm
Tim's
saying?
looks like.
Nyla's hooking off on us right when we're done recording.
Now I want to walk off set right now.
Both of us.
I'm used to living in New York delusion for the past 10 years.
Delusion.
So
Wow.
yeah, delusion.
Delusion.
I've
Who's
been
laugh
getting
back
worse
there?
and worse.
they're laughing
Delusion.
because they know it's true. They're probably not from here, just like me. Jill's over there laughing because she's not from
I
here,
got a little
and she
tequila
knows
left in here, huh?
living here.
stop, my
You just got to
brother.
get used to the bias and the
To
delusion.
New York.
To New York.
To the perhaps a toast
Would
to
you
New
like
York.
Cheers us.
To New York.
To New York.
Oh my gosh, it's all right.
All right, let's move on. Let us move on. Big fans of Macklemore?
What is happening to
I'm
me?
just
What
asking.
are we?
Why are
big
you
fans of-
asking me that? Come on.
Well, Macklemore and Eminem.
The way you said that.
Sorry. What's so funny? I was just asking if you guys are fans of Macklemore. No? Not fans of Macklemore? All right. Well,
No,
Macklemore says
the way
that
you said
he
that.
and Eminem are guests in hip-hop. He shared a clip from an interview he's got coming out with Nate Burleson on the CBS Daily News show, CBS Mornings, where he discussed what it's like being a white rapper. I want to get his quote right. Here's what he said. I'm a guest. M's a guest. Doesn't matter how good we get. Doesn't matter how great Eminem is. We're guests in the culture 100%. And that's not to say that I don't belong here. I absolutely belong here. But you still have to realize that this is not your house and that you're a guest. And take your shoes off and help with some dishes. So with that, I'll ask the question, who is the culture for? And do you guys agree that Macklemore and Eminem are guests in hip-hop?
He lost me when he lost to Kendrick, so that's all I gotta say on that. And when he beat Kendrick, I'm sorry.
I knew what you meant.
Yes,
That's why I laughed.
yeah.
Nyla.
I think it's an interesting statement. Growing up as a black girl from the South, I've always viewed hip hop as like something for us, as in black people specifically. But when I moved to New York, the delusional city that it is,
rather.
I realized that, and they're not delusional for this, I'm just joking from earlier, but I realized that hip hop is really for a lot more than just us. And it's something that I'm still growing with, being okay with, but you know, I think it's normal. Like we fight to be in different spaces all the time, so we can't really give other people a hard time for enjoying the same thing we enjoy also.
Right.
Man, that's
right.
fair. Gabe? Thoughts?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, because even like you kind of talking about you coming to New York, and we thinking about, you know, I think about my pops is from the Bronx, right? So I think about the stories from, you know, he's a little older than some of the people who were around at the beginning of hip hop, but he's from a similar area. So I think it's interesting when we talk about these certain things, because a lot of the people who were around during that time who were at these parties were black, Puerto Rican, Dominican, in some cases Afro-Latino as well. So it's kind of hard to have these type of conversations, because like there have been a lot of different people who've been involved in the making of what hip hop is today too. You know what I'm saying? Even M's, you know, obviously we can't compare Macklemore and M's contributions to hip hop is
Sure.
a trillion miles ahead of Macklemore's. All due respectfully, my guy. But
I think he knows that.
yeah, respectfully. But I think it's a hard thing to say. But I feel like, you know, Eminem to the culture is extremely important. And even now where people want to, I feel like Twitter likes to every couple months start with the Eminem slander. But I feel like, you know, there's so many cases of M just being such a pivotal part in hip hop. Like I even think about like this week alone, there are 2 records that are out this week on Shrem Life 4 and on Millie's new project, who that sample the Sand sample.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not saying that song wouldn't be sampled to this day, right? But Eminem really made that iconic.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's hard to kind of say that, you know, certain things, especially with Macklemore, but I think that M is such a pivotal part of the culture. I don't know if I would say he's a guest. I feel like he's
A mainstay.
a mainstay.
And even with that, with M's contributions, you know, without M, we wouldn't have gotten 50.
Yeah.
Right.
They was gatekeeping him over here.
Yeah.
So shout out to.
Say we gatekeep our artists.
Goodness
too.
gracious.
Well, you guys were gatekeeping 50 Cent.
yeah.
They weren't.
Me and Gabe were
Well, I'm not
responsible
saying-
for gatekeeping.
I'm
We
not
were in like our
guys.
cribs at the time.
Yeah.
Like gatekeeping.
I'm just saying New York City was gatekeeping 50. 50 had to break into the industry, and
Yeah.
thanks to M and Dre, we were able to get that. And I think when it comes to like hip hop, you know, it's a lifestyle. And it's a culture, it's the music, it's what you wear, how we talked about like the influence of sneaker culture.
Yeah.
That is hip hop. So you can't really put a color on it, even though, you know, it's predominantly ran by us, which is why I think he made the statement, we're guests.
Right.
Because, you know, I'm not about to go to, you know, a pop show and be like, hey, I know everything when I don't.
Right. Like I would say like in the case of Macklemore, I'm not really too familiar with what he puts out now. I feel like some of the records that I have heard since, you know, he won that Grammy have been not so much hip hop leaning based, a little more poppy. I could be wrong, but that's just what I feel like has touched my ear. And even in the sense of like, you know, I think people would even tend to say that about like an MGK. Because, you know, what MGK makes right now is rock music, and, you know, he's selling out stadiums with it, you know what I'm saying, which is great, but he was doing hip hop for a while too, so like I feel like Macklemore and MGK could be considered guests, but you can't really say that about someone like M, who, you know, like Nyla said, it's a lifestyle, it's a culture, it's, you know, the clothes, it's everything amalgamating into one thing. So I feel like M is a staple, they could be considered guests.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
You know, Post Malone's an interesting one.
Post Malone's another interesting one
He's
too,
an
yeah.
interesting one because he came in rapping, but then rapped and then kind of went just the other way.
He kind of always, Post I feel like is kind of
The
always in
teeter
that
the
middle
line.
ground, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
he's like, not like a 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but he kind of like walks both worlds. Plus, I don't feel like he's been around long enough for us to really have a definitive answer. Because like Machine Gun Kelly's been around for much longer, and so to some extent, so is Macklemore, maybe a couple years more. So I feel like Post is like a weird middle ground.
But honestly, we should have just stopped caring about the Grammys after that Macklemore situation.
That was
like,
a
why
dark moment. in
Why are we
music
still
history.
doing this to
The
ourselves?
screenshot of the text message to Kendrick was just, oh my God.
Why?
Like, bro, you could have left that one in the drafts, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Let's jump into the comments real quick. Frank G's 1981 says, hip hop is worldwide now. Crispy Jack says, oof, it's hard because the genre is so specific to the black experience. It certainly is.
It is.
Big C 1901 says, it comes from black culture, but for everyone, if they are respectful. And B-Dubs 440 Them says, this statement is like saying Jordan Clarkson is equal to Michael Jordan. Eminem is exempt. I don't know that I understand he's saying that Jordan Clarkson, Michael Jordan, like the Jordan, I see what you're saying. Comparing Eminem to Macklemore. That is funny when you put it like that.
Wait.
Yeah, it's certainly, well, Jordan is Jordan Clarkson's first name. Jordan is Michael Jordan's last name. So he's like, it's like comparing Michael Jordan, the greatest ever, to Jordan Clarkson now, who's like a solid role player now. But so he's like saying like Michael Jordan is Eminem, Jordan Clarkson is Macklemore.
Right.
Got
Yep,
you.
I agree.
Yeah, it helps when you're one of the greatest rappers ever in Eminem. You know, like it's
Yeah.
super beneficial.
But you know, someone like Paul Wall doesn't really bother me at all.
Right. Or even like now, like Millie's too. Millie's is
Sure.
from Boston, but Millie's has really lived a certain life, and he's
Sure.
really been through certain things, and he's really like hip hop
Yeah.
to the T. So, you know, it's interesting.
We were having this debate when DJ Drama came on the Breakfast Club, because Drama had said that Lil Uzi and Jack Harlow are the top 3 like right now. Like he didn't say who the third one is, but he said out of the three,
They're two of the top three.
yeah. And then Charlamagne was like, I don't know if Jack Harlow can be a 3. He's white. And I was like, oh my God, like, you know what? He might have a point, and not because I agree because he's white, but just because I don't know if it would be accepted. Like I remember I played a Jack Harlow record when I was DJing this cookout in Harlem, and then they came up to me and was like, "Nah, B, we don't do that."
Really?
Yo, literally.
Wow. What was the song?
Was popping.
Oh wow.
And this was during the pandemic.
What
remix?
poppin' was
'Cause
actually like
Isn't
Was poppin'? Yeah.
Wayne is on that remix, and
It wasn't
Tory-
the remix.
Tory's on
it
it?
wasn't
Oh,
the
it's-
remix.
it
This
was
is
okay.
yeah. I think this is before the remix. Playing it in Harlem, and they told me, "Nah, we don't do that."
So yo, pack that up.
But maybe
Yeah.
it's also because you were in Harlem, and I feel like there's a certain type, whatever, like
wanted
a
Dipset.
cookout. Yeah, they wanted some like hard.
wanted
shit.
Cameron.
Not saying
Jewel.
Jack ain't hard, but like you know what I'm saying. There's
Jack got
definitely-
some records.
Nah.
No, he got some great.
Jack's a
No, he does have some great records.
I know.
But then that's also might be like an experience thing, because like it's I'm not trying to compare Jack to another like white rapper, but like Jack and like Millie's or Jack and Paul Wall, like very different
Sure.
types of energy. Like Jack is also very kind of like mainstream pop appeal too. So
Yeah.
it's so like you go to Harlem, you go to Brooklyn, you go to Queens. Like it might not always fly at the
Transfer
cookout.
well.
Yeah, it doesn't
That's
transfer.
exactly-
New York is just different. That's a good
Yeah.
record. Delusion,
No,
I
it's a
tell
great-
you.
It's a great
All
record.
right,
It's a
let's
great
not go
record.
back there.
Delusion, I'm telling you. It's a
not
good
delusion.
record. I
It's
can't
not
even
delusion.
play
It's just
Jack Harlow.
It's just that I don't really want to hear Jack Harlow at my cookout. It's just
Fair. Fair.
You on your own.
All right. Well, let's move on to our last story here. Complex released their hip hop media power rankings list. Big salute to the fam over at Complex. You know that's home team. But some notable snubs from the list. Just to give you a quick rundown of the top 5. They had Nori at number 5, Gillian Wallow at number 4, Charlamagne the God at number 3, DJ Academics at 2, and Joe Budden coming in at the number 1 spot in terms of being the most influential hip-hop media personalities. 2 notable snubs on the list off rip. Rob Markman, who should absolutely have been on the list,
facts.
and Gabe.
Thanks, man.
Gabe feels very strongly about
I do
this.
actually. I do actually feel very strongly
I'm
about
curious
this.
as to. I do also want to give acknowledgement that our lovely Nyla Symone was on the list. She came in at number 24. So Nyla, big shout out to you for making the
Shout
list.
out Nyla, man.
I can't wait to hear your feelings on it in a second. But Gabe,
He's been waiting for this the whole time.
yeah, I'm ready. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on the list in totality, and then your thoughts on yourself not being on it.
I think in totality, and something that Nyla and I definitely agree on is like Angie should be way higher, right? I think, besides Angie just being a staple in the culture for how long she's been in the culture, I think the IRL podcast this past year since she started it, she's had so many incredible moments that kind of transcend hip hop in a way too. Whether it be the Lauren London interview or the Ashanti interview, Kim Kardashian, even going as far as to also personal favorite of mine, sleeper interview, Derek Jeter, J Balvin, and the list goes on and on. She did Usher, I think, recently
That
too.
Kelly Clarkson interview she did was nuts.
Kelly Clarkson, I
And I had no interest in Kelly Clarkson, but after watching her, I'm a huge Kelly Clarkson fan now.
Right. And granted, she's still hip hop media, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I think that off rip, and Nyla and I are also a little biased because Angie brought us both into the game, but Angie off rip should be higher. I think it's dope. I love seeing Kai Cenat too, seeing where he's at, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to BX. I always love seeing a fellow New Yorker win, but I'm just kind of confused on like the borderline of like Twitch, being a Twitch streamer and hip hop media. Like how does that kind of contemplate to like the list too? As for myself though, like
This is what I want to hear. Go ahead. As for you,
well, I
Gabe.
did so I did tweet that no On the Radar being on the list was crazy, right? But I'm okay with being the underdog. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been the underdog, and I always, I've always played that role. I feel like up until this point in my career, so I was okay with it. You know what I'm saying? I know what On the Radar has done. You know what I'm saying? We gave y'all Ice Spice. You know what I'm saying? So who knows if Speedy would have even been here at this point in all of our lives? He would be saying like as much as he does every single day. If Ice Spice never came and did her On the Radar freestyle, we don't know. We don't know. But I feel like, if we're talking about in terms of impact on the culture and just kind of what we've been creating, not even just talking about me, but got to give a big shout out to my boy Hakeem over at Our Generation Music. He's been killing it with the underground scene. Like, he brought a lot of incredible interviews to the table to a lot of artists that, some of these bigger platforms might not do, but are just as important. And also Cam Capone News. And there was a bunch of other people on a list that they put out later in the day of like Hip Hop's Next that I was also on. But I feel like it's hard to do a list and just limit it to 25 people.
Sure.
Because hip hop is such, we just spoke about how wide of a range, how hip hop is for so many different people now. I think the list should have been at least like 30 to 40 people. It shouldn't have just been limited to 25. I get why they did it. I get why they picked certain things, because they wanted people to conversate and talk about it the way that we're talking about it now. But I feel like you're also doing a disservice to the culture by not including other people, like the people I mentioned, myself, even, someone like Aze Productions, who does 4 shooters only, who started the hanging mic trend outside on the block. He does From the Block. Like, he literally, everywhere you look now, everybody got a hanging mic. And they're doing a performance video like that. Is that not impactful? Because they're all kind of doing what he did.
Yeah.
So, like, how do we rate impactfulness now? Because if I'm looking at this, like, there's so many incredible people, but you're missing also a ton of people as well.
All right. I have a big question I want to ask, but Nyla, let's jump to you. Initial reactions on the list in totality, and then being on it yourself.
Well, initial reaction to me being on it was like, oh shit, I'm on the list. Oh my God, okay, this is cool.
How did you
Great.
find out?
2 people, Diamond tagged me in it, my friend Diamond. Shout out to Diamond for sending it to me. And then Arthur also sent it to me. And I was like, oh, wow, this is really cool. Then I scroll, and I'm like, oh, they spelled my name wrong. Oh, they put my age wrong. Oh, my biggest accomplishment is being the co-host of The Breakfast Club, Finesse 2 times. So that being like put as my biggest accomplishment, it's kind of like a smack in the face to the actual things that I've done the past 6 years in hip hop. Like you said, like, we wouldn't know Ice Spice without you. Like, There's mad artists I broke before they actually broke. Megan Thee Stallion,
that
Jack
Megan Thee Stallion
Harlow.
clip with her talking about Beyonce, first of all.
Yeah, YMW Melly. Like, I've had so many viral moments in hip hop culture that for this to be the epitome of why I'm on the list is kind of a slap in the face. And then I also feel like they put heavy Breakfast Club, being Charlamagne's protege and emerging media talent. Okay, yeah, I do work closely with Charlamagne, but I just feel like it was worded in a way that seemed a little biased. So, and I would say even not just for my bio, for everybody's bio, it kind of seems like a backhanded compliment. For Sway, they put lighthearted hip-hop interviews, lyrical miracle freestyle sessions, signature head rap. Sway has done so much.
Signature head rap is crazy.
Like, I think that's in jest. I don't, I think that's
I
just
think
like
that's a
Speedy,
slap in the
take it
face
out.
to
Well,
his
no, because-
actual legacy.
But not to defend, because I had no contributions to this list whatsoever.
Okay.
But in some of the other people, there is like one light type thing that they're known for. Like, I'm sure Nardwar has one as well.
Ridiculously researched questions, an encyclopedia of music knowledge, that silly hat, and interview ending freeze frame.
Yeah. See, like, there's always they have one.
I don't get the humor.
But
in
it felt like it's like
yeah, it
fair.
It's like, when you're watching a movie and like you're like, this movie about to be a really serious movie, and then every 5 seconds there's just like a really bad slapstick joke.
Yeah.
That's what those things feel like.
But again, I really like. I'm honored to be acknowledged because I've been working for a long time. But based off what they said they ranked it on, we used a scoring method based on 5 categories: commentary and banter, star power of guests, consistency, viral moments, integrity of content. I just feel like Charlamagne should have been number 1. Honestly, viral moments, star power of guests, commentary and banter. Like,
So Charlamagne at number 1. Gabe, who do you feel should have been number 1?
I would also agree that Charlamagne. I just think in terms of, sorry to cut you off, by the way, but like, yes, but then also if you think about like the Black Effect Podcast Network or even his show, which also they left out that Nyla DJ's on too, like
they left out my Revolt TV show with Big Tigger and Rhapsody.
Yep.
They left out a lot of things that I've actually done, but like you're saying, I think Charlamagne should have been number 1. And to your point about Angie even being like closer to number 1 too, or she's not even top 10, right?
No, she's
like they got
12, I
Carisha
think.
before Angie Martinez is kind of nuts.
Yeah.
And I say that too because the list is called Power Players in Hip Hop. That means like actual power. That means like actually control. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't for Angie, half of the list wouldn't be there. If it wasn't for Charlamagne, half of like
Right.
Nori's show is on the Black Effect, Charlamagne's network. So it's like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, what is really power to you guys? Power in hip hop.
Right. And if it weren't for Angie, neither of us would
wouldn't
be
be
here.
here.
Right.
If it wasn't for Charlamagne. You know
So
what I'm saying? It's a lot. It's a lot in there.
I think real people who should get their flowers on it is people with actual good journalistic skills. And I can't really be offended because I see clout just runs the world.
Right.
And I also can't be offended because I am actually on the list, misspell name and all. You know what I'm saying? But
Also, as many drill jokes that Nyla cracks, I do want to make the point that she also did Chef G and Sleepy Hollow and Fabio Foreign before they really blew up.
That
Then
Fabio
also, I'm gonna give her flowers for one more interview she did. Brent Fires at a time when Brent Fires wasn't doing interviews. So, and I think
you know what? Thank you.
I got you. And that was right before the pandemic too. So he definitely wasn't doing no interviews after that. So I think it's also, while in that aspect, I'm upset for her because I'm like, she's done much more than just, been a co-host on the Breakfast Club.
And for a foundation like Complex, like that's a big deal. So when people Google me and they see Complex, they're gonna go to that and think like, oh, they did their research when they did not. You know what I mean? And that's what's kind of whack.
And I'm also slightly sorry, Speedy. I know you gotta
go ahead. I'm listening. I'm all ears.
You get your shit off, but I'm slightly offended because they just kind of limited me, Hakeem, Camp Capone, and the rest of the next up to just an Instagram post. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I need like a whole body of work, which shout out my good friend Jordan over at Complex. He actually did a piece on the radar like at the end of last year. But like I don't need something like that. But it's like if you're gonna say that, this is hip hop's next up, like, and you limited us to an Instagram post at like 9 p.m. at night that I'm reading while I'm at the DeVito dinner, it's like it felt like you guys kinda were scrambling because there was a little bit of backlash. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's true. They may have had it teed up already. But I'm just saying, like, that's how it kind of felt to me.
Well, let's see. Maybe there is a bigger post coming.
Okay, come
But
on.
I think what would be cool, honestly,
It feels like you know something.
No, I'm just saying.
I feel like lists are just always going to be problematic.
Yeah, facts.
They are, but they're intended to cause conversation, cause
I think
debate,
they should do superlatives.
and we're doing
I like that.
just that
I
right
think
now.
they should do superlatives.
Let me ask you this, and this will be our last question of the segment. With the list in mind, and I'm asking you both to be bold here.
Okay.
Who do you feel should not be on this list?
Ooh.
Let me give you.
I know who's on the list.
Who, all 25? Who should not be on the list? Gabe, if you had to take someone off to put yourself on, without just, I don't even know who it is, but yeah, who shouldn't be on the list?
I
Who
hate
doesn't
that you
belong?
asked us this. Come on, these are our peers.
But that's all right. It's hip hop. If somebody shouldn't be on this list,
I feel like I respect this person as a reviewer, but like Anthony Fantano, I think that's a rough sell, and it's not because of his reviewing ability. I mean, he do be having some bullshit like scores sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, but it's not because of his reviewing ability. I feel like he's not entirely.
It's a different category.
Because respectfully, all the other people on this list, I could be like they're a part of hip hop culture.
Sure.
Like if 80-20 they're hip hop culture, or they have been hip hop culture 80-20 at some point in their career. Like if I go on Anthony Fantano's page, he's not reviewing the new. I don't know, let's say hypothetically, I'm trying to think of an upcoming artist's album, like
Tyler?
Tyler or Destroy Lonely. Chloe Bailey. Or maybe he did do Chloe, I don't know. But he's not kind of taking that extra care. I'm not saying everybody on this list would take that extra care, but I know that everybody else on this list, to some extent, is mildly tapped in to those smaller things too.
All right, so Fantano. Nyla?
I think they should have did like shows also, because it's like you don't even got DJ Envy on here.
That was a notable snub. People
don't
felt
make
as
no
if you should have been
sense.
on this list.
Yeah.
But who do you feel should
I agree
not
with
be?
Gabe, and I also would say Kai Cenat too. I just don't. I think
Cenat.
Kai Cenat.
Yeah, I got
Kai Cenat. Yeah, I think they're just different realms.
Yeah, it's tough
That's
because Kai Cenat, like, because you're talking about hip hop staying power and controlling the culture, like we were just talking about. Like, I think Kai definitely controls Twitch culture, and I think he has a great foot in hip hop culture. He has a song with NLE Choppa.
Yeah.
He's done these live streams with Choppa, with Krishan Rock, Blueface, Lil Baby. He's trying to get SZA on his thing every single week, talking about how much he loves her. Like, I get it. He's an incredible person. He's from New York. I love seeing someone from New York win, but it's hard to kind of like equate that to just hip hop.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this should be like a list about, I would let Carisha stay because like at least she's doing a hip hop media show. Kai's doing a Twitch live stream and he has artists come by. I don't know if you would equate that to just a hip hop media platform.
Yeah, my
Shout out
pick is
Kai, man. I love Kai.
All right.
I love Kai.
Never met him, but yeah, that's my list.
All right. Let's jump into the comments quick before we wrap this thing up. Big C 1901 says, I haven't listened to Joe Budden since those dudes left. LOL. It's probably talking about Rory and Maul.
Recipes are good.
Mike LZ says, I don't know if this is a hot take, but Joe isn't really that guy anymore in 2023. Nyla,
Sheesh.
what's up with the reaction?
Yeah, I'm like, okay. I'm listening. I'm soaking it all in.
Donnie Kwok, this is the GM of Complex, who's tapped in. They say, shout out to all of you at Rotation Roundtable. Salute to you back, Donnie. Frank G's 1981 says, I think lists will always be subjective and will be debated no matter what. That is a fact. Crispy Jack is tired of lists, to be honest.
Tired too.
I think Nyla is too. Baguette Baby says, yeah, how do they make these lists? Go check it out. The parameters of the list are at the top of the article. Mike LZ is back. They say, sometimes the list feels a bit too industry. Let the fans have more say so. I like that. Similar to how XXL lets you vote for the last spot. That's a good note. Maybe people should be able to vote for their favorite influential hip hop person.
Right.
Admiral KOKO says, what a terrible list. And Luke the Boss 7 says, Nyla, it's for the past year, right? I love Angie, but her past clout should not influence her current spot.
Even in the past year, she's been putting up numbers.
Lauren
He
London.
just named off Lauren London. And
I'll
by
pull
the
up
way,
IRL page. Hold on. Let me do respect to the OG.
these
I'm not
people
doing-
are
I'm not
coming
letting
up
y'all
to
do my
her
OG like
asking
that.
her to
Time
do
out.
these interviews. And she's not doing like regular press run interviews. Like we get artists that want to come on their press runs. They sit with us. They sit with the Breakfast Club. They sit with Hot 97. Like she's doing people who aren't on press runs and they're having actual detailed conversations.
Go ahead.
You ready
Gabe.
for this? Yeah. Lauren London, 8 months ago. Kim Kardashian, 3 months ago. JT, that also has over 1 million views. A month ago, and that is a whole hour long. That was actually a really great interview,
was
too.
good.
The JT one was great. Ashanti, Mary, Kelly Rowland, Taraji P, Usher, Kelly Clarkson, Joe Budden, Mike Tyson, Tamika Mallory, Derek Jeter, Jay Balvin.
How many of those people are hip hop?
Kelly Rowland, JT, Kim Kardashian is unfortunately,
Kim K's hip hop?
she's married to
Ashanti, Mary J, Kelly Rowland.
Taraji is.
Usher.
Usher is. Joe Budden is.
Taraji hip hop?
Taraji not hip hop.
You wouldn't consider Taraji hip hop?
She's more Hollywood to me. than
You watched
hip-hop.
season 1 of
I mean,
Empire?
she's
Oh, I'm
baby
Empire.
boy.
Empire.
Yeah, Baby
Empire.
Boy.
Baby boy.
Yeah, but we're okay. fair.
Yeah.
Taraji's in the hip hop
Fair,
culture.
fair,
I don't care.
Me and her
if
don't
she's
agree
that.
very much, but
All right.
you lost something.
Angie, I think we're all in alignment. Angie should be higher. My last question on this debate: do you feel like as if I should have been on this list?
But we know why you weren't on the list.
No, I'm just asking if you think I should not. Do you think I should have been on the list? Like, do you think I would have made the list?
Obviously.
Obviously speaking.
Thank you. I'm honored.
He just
I
wanted his
wanna-
flowers.
No, what I do want to go on record saying in Complex is family. Rob Markman should 100% have been on that list.
Yeah.
That is a snub that is blatant, and I was disappointed to not see him on there. So
Maybe they should do a board too, kind of how like.
Double
Double
XL
XL
Yeah.
started it. Yeah, I agree.
And I think they should do superlatives. I'll give you guys that one for free. Next one, I'm gonna send
An invoice?
bill. Yeah, but I think y'all should do superlatives because like Nori really makes a lot of his interviews about him, not really about like the people, the guests that are there. So I don't know if he should be that far down. Like if I'm gonna talk about real journalism, like a lot of these people aren't really that.
all right, fair enough.
Fair enough.
Let's get into lastly, what is in your rotation? Nyla, we'll start with you. What's in your rotation this week?
So I gave Chloe Bailey's album a listen. Even though Twitter was like really going in about it, I'm like, you know what? I want to listen. And though I'm not in love with the project, there was one song on there I really do like, and it's called Body Do. And it just has like a good, like just fun vibe on it. And since the weather's like warming up and stuff like that, I really like that record. So shout out to Chloe Bailey, Body Do. Check it out. If you don't like the album, I promise you at least will like this record.
All right,
There you go.
Gabe. Actually, pardon me. I
go
stepped
ahead.
out of place. I have to go first because we like to let Gabe end at this because this is his segment. What's in my rotation right now? It's a recency bias for sure, but the Jodeci freestyle. It's obviously not a new record, but Drake and J. Cole.
Yo, I thought they were gonna do that.
They do that?
That's
At the
what
festival?
made me.
That's
That is
crazy.
what made me bring it into my rotation this week because I was like, damn. Do Drake and Cole have a record together that I would love to see them perform? And then I was like, oh, they got the Jodeci freestyle. Bro, I bumped it. And I was like, damn, this shit hard as fuck. And I forgot. And so I've been listening to it on repeat. I was very disappointed that they did not perform that at Dreamville Fest. I feel like they should have. I'm sure they've never performed it before. It would have been nice to see them do it for the
I
first
feel like
And
they
in the
did.
morning.
though.
Did they do it before?
I feel, or maybe they
Haven't-
did do. Maybe in the morning. They performed
Probably in the morning.
together. Yeah.
I had
Way
never
back
heard
when.
them perform Jodeci freestyle. It also was like a B-side kind of, you know? It was
Definitely
just like
a B-side, but everybody loves that
Nah,
record.
Bro,
all
it's
the J.
hard.
Cole tours you went to, you never saw Drake come out of one? Okay.
Well, maybe it was
System
that the
Avatar.
dollar of the dream
Maybe it was the
when
dollar.
she didn't go.
It might have been that one.
All right, Gabe. Mr. Step in, step
Out, don't get stepped on. There you go.
Step in, step out, don't get stepped on. What is in your rotation this week?
So I got 2 this week. So number 1 is my guy HZ Been Dope. He dropped his new single Locked In last Friday. The snippet of that song actually got about 9 million views on TikTok, couple mil on IG as well, on IG Reels. Super dope record, real New York. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna send it to B Dot because I feel like B Dot needs somebody send it. Rob, if you're watching this, send this to B Dot so B Dot can see it because record is hard. He's from Brooklyn, he's from the Nanos, and he's with The Rock. You know what I'm saying? Great record. If you work out, bump it at the gym. It's perfect. My second joint, I'm gonna say is this Friday. I mentioned Millie's a couple times during the show today. We spoke about Millie's with the sample debate with Ray Shremmerd, which I'm sure we're gonna talk about with them tomorrow. Millie's new album Blanco 6 drops on Friday. And one of my favorite records of this past year in hip hop has been his record with Al Bial and Lee Ford, Risk Takers. That is on the project, as well as the Stan sample. That is also on the project. So that comes out this week, so he's been in heavy rotation.
And you said that second one was for Rob, right?
Huh? The second one was for Rob because I'm pretty sure Rob had mentioned Millie's in a past episode.
He definitely
So,
did. He did.
Rob, I hope that this is the one that you wanted for this week too. If not, shout out Millie's, man. Shout out Mass. Blanco 6 out in 48 hours.
All
That's
right.
it.
With that, let me get into the quick highlights of some new albums that we have dropping this week. They're dropping New Moon. We got Daniel Caesar, who is back with Never Enough. Lil Tyler is dropping a deluxe.
It's out now, actually.
Oh, it's out now?
Yeah, with the little Uzi feature. Super dope record,
But he
too.
dropped the deluxe already?
With an Uzi feature. That's the key thing, with an Uzi feature.
With an Uzi feature.
But just
Hard.
one? Is only one new
There's
record?
a couple other records on it, but I think they're all solo records. The Uzi feature is the new collab, yeah.
All right, NF is dropping Alone, and Jacquees has a City Sessions live EP. Keep in mind, this is an Amazon-only exclusive. You can't hear this anywhere else, so make sure you guys tap in. Nyla, you a big Jacquees fan?
I am.
Is that why you...
Wait, hold on. I got this, right? J.
No,
Cole,
because now you're about
Chris
to cap.
Brown.
No.
You're
No,
a
no,
Jacquees fan above Cole.
No, but I am a Jacquees fan. I used to love the Queez
She loves
mixes.
some Jacquees.
Yeah.
All right. Shrem Life 4 also comes out
Yes.
this Friday by Ray Shremmerd. And I want to shout you guys out because tomorrow on your show, actually, I'll let you guys take it from here. You have a show tomorrow. You have a guest. Tell us about the show. Tell us about the guest.
Yes, tomorrow on AMP Radio, 12 p.m., me and Gabe will be interviewing Ray Schumer.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Me and Nyla have a very long history of being fans of Ray Shremmerd
Yes.
through college, through doing the Black Beatles Challenge at Power 105.
Oh my God, yes,
I did
I
like
forgot
some
about that.
fan thing. They had me standing as like a big Ray Shremmerd fan for some fan interaction at iHeart. And Nyla, I think, had also done something with them before.
I studied abroad in Paris during the Paris attacks. And during the Paris attacks, a concert I got attacked too. So like everybody was afraid to go. But Ray Schumer was coming in town like 3 days later and I had bought tickets to. And I still went because I really loved Ray Schumer.
Thugged it out.
Right.
Yeah, no, all my friends didn't want to go with me. I did get one friend to go with me, but
Yeah.
when they came to Power 105 and we did that, I told them like, yo, I went to the Paris show. I was so scared to go. They're like, yeah, we were scared to do it. So I'm excited to just see them again. And
Right.
catch
We have a
up.
long history with Ray Shremmerd from our college days up until now, so we're excited.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tomorrow you guys can see or listen to Gabe and Nyla with Ray Shremmerd at 12 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And then on Monday, we got Group Thread, 6 p.m. Pacific. That's 9 p.m. Eastern Time. They're having a conversation about Hip Hop 50 with host Naima Cochran. And they got the special guest in the building, Ken the Man. Breakthrough Live is on Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Pacific. That's 9 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, next Wednesday, the three of us will be joined by our brother who's not here with us today. We couldn't make it, but Rob Markman will be back next week for Rotation Roundtable. Every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm Speedy. For Nyla and Gabe, Mr. Step In, Step Out, don't get stepped on.
Perfect.
We out, and we will see you guys next Wednesday.
Peace.
Later.
Peace.